Well, hello everyone. Hello, welcome to this week's episode. Last week I talked about decluttering, and decluttering is really just a part in my world of living a simple life. And I want to talk about something that just happened to me a few moments ago, and I want to emphasize its importance, and that is to surround yourself with people that lift you up, with people that inspire you and motivate you to become a better version of yourself. And the opposite applies, because it's so important that you be aware of those that not necessarily try and pull you down, but don't get this journey that you're taking about living differently and living a simple life. And part of that is decluttering. And actually, that was one of the questions that I answered on the second video of last week about how to deal with other family members when you're trying to declutter and live this simple life. Well, years ago, I created in my mind, because that's just the way my mind works, the 7 principles of living a simple life. And I just discussed one of those. That is to surround yourself with people that really lift you and motivate you. Case in point, I just received a phone call that does just the opposite of what I want in my life to grow, because that's just my direction. And I would really, really love your thoughts on this and your feedback. And maybe it will it will push you to think about your actions. I am certainly aware of my age, and I'm sure you are as well. And I simply just use it, and I've said it so many times before, I just use it as that number on my birth certificate. And it's the day that I arrived. It's my landing date, like the Apollo. It landed, and so did I. And I find it very, very challenging to deal with someone who thinks that at a certain age that you have no future and that you take no challenges on in your life and you don't try and improve your life. And the topic of conversation far too often is, this person got sick, that person got sick, this person is going to die. Well, newsflash, we all are going to face that. But while we are here, it's so important to live a life. And actually, if you go to the community page, I posted something that I got on a wonton, in the wonton, the Chinese cookies, about life. And so I had this conversation with this person. Actually, I didn't talk. I just listened, and I was aware of that glass half empty attitude. And I suppose it can happen at any age, and maybe it's just something that I recognize as I mature. But I had to, during this conversation, when I was told that this person's sick and that person's sick, and I just had to be consciously aware that this is direction that I don't want to go on. This is not part of my simple life. My simple life, and I encourage you to really have a deep think about this and your attitude towards this whole concept of surrounding yourself with people that lift you up, that inspire you and motivate you. And if by chance you come across someone who does just the opposite, please, ladies, please make a conscious effort to determine, do you want this person in your life? Are they adding value to your time here on the planet? Because we all know that when you get to the certain age, you realize how quickly it all goes and how much living we have done, but also how much more living we can do. And we can do that by surrounding ourselves with people that lift us up, and those people that we want to stay in touch with. It might not be physical because that's just the way of the world, but there are people that we feel most inspired with and comforted with, and those are the people, those ladies, those are the people I encourage you to put your attention to. And as just happened to me when I was speaking with somebody who's just completely the opposite, well, that conversation got put into a file and deleted because that's part of my simple life. To move forward, to be the best that I can be, and I encourage you to do the same. And that was it. Probably a bit heavy, but that's just who I am. And I encourage you to really take on board my concept and my idea, or at least consider it. And I would love your feedback in this thought and this whole process of living this one element of living a simple life. Until next week, ladies, I wish everyone a good week. Stay well, stay safe. Prayers for Ukraine. Toodles.